Welcome to this ASBN video blog. Today's blog is about ESBG in 2021, so this year in summer. At ESBG 2 years ago in Todmorden, UK, we discussed in the ESBA, the European Straw Bale Association, how natural building techniques, sustainability and participation in building, so exactly those principles that we as straw bale and clay builders hold particularly high can be better communicated. It was and is about the fact that we have a really large following in Europe, and I think that for many people I can speak not only of a conviction but also of a love for straw bale construction. But if we leave our bubble and look at the figures, we are a drop in the ocean and the entire construction industry, despite thousands of projects. So how do we manage to reach people in Europe beyond our loyal followers and friends? The biggest common event is the ESBG, the European Straw Bale Gathering, which takes place every 2 years in a different country. Up to 300 interested people meet there, discuss, exchange ideas, do workshops, and listen to presentations from active straw bale builders. Well, 300 interested people doesn't sound bad for an event, but from a pan-European point of view, we are back to the drop in the ocean, and for some time now, the ocean has been called climate change. So the idea we discussed since Todmorden was to organize the ESBG simultaneously in all 11 member countries of ESBA. At the same time, to organize workshops and exhibitions locally, nationally, and to show the country presentations in the evening in a public screening, like we noted from football matches. In summer, a lot can take place outdoors, so why not incorporate the location, the neighborhood, or the city? The event does not have to be limited to one training center per country, so much for the idea. With Corona, this idea has suddenly become more topical, because from today's point of view, it is unclear whether we will be able to organize a European event with 300 visitors at the end of July, beginning of August, and whether we will exclude anyone. In a worst-case scenario, if a lockdown prohibits us from holding larger meetings, a partly online ESBG could also be held entirely online. Canceling or postponing the ESBG is not an option. After all, climate change won't wait until Corona is finally under control either, if that ever happens. So in this video blog, I officially asked the board members of ESBA, the European Straw Building Association, co-president Zuzana Kierulfova and our secretary Maciej Jagielak, what they thought of the idea. There were two questions. How could you imagine that a future European-wide ESBG on many different places for 3 days at the same time could work? And the second question was, what do you like and dislike on this idea? So let's introduce Zuzana Kierulfova from ArTUR, also co-president of ESBA, of the European Straw Building Association.
I think, well, that's at the moment the only possibility which we can think about, because we cannot meet. Otherwise, I think it was always a very nice event to meet personally, but we can try this time to meet online. I think it is a good idea that we would organize as an organization our event. And in the evening we could connect, or in the afternoon, also with participants which are participating at our event, and we will connect all together online so that we would feel that this is the event of the whole Europe, of straw bale builders of all Europe. And then maybe we just have to think about structure of the program.
But the question is also, do you think that ArTUR is capable of organizing such an event in Slovakia?
Yes, I think we We have a big screen, so we can show the common presentations, and we can be there, and we can also prepare before the event. We can prepare the videos and something to show. Yes, it's nowadays it's normal to be online and to manage such a conferences.
So I can imagine that it will work very well if we make it as an international effort, a simultaneous meeting in different places with online connection and with a possibility, a unique possibility to have a much wider audience than usually. So the interesting thing here is that we have already considered this idea before Corona came. So back in Totmorden during last ESBG meeting, Herbert has proposed to make a new form of meeting, which will be half live, half online. And I'm really surprised that now it seems that it was a kind of very very fortunate idea for this time, because now after a year of lockdowns and difficulties with meeting in person, we are much more ready for this form of meeting. So now it's not a question if we want to do it, we have to do it in a different new form, and we'll make it, I guess.
What do you dislike and like on this idea? Yeah, so again, it's maybe you already answered it, but
yes, yes, I dislike that we cannot really meet. Maybe we will be able to meet with Austria and Czech Republic. We will see. I think it's worth trying if it's possible, because personal contacts are always the best. That's why conferences usually is half of it is for the social meeting, and I think there will be some things to think about, like for example, if there are still some restrictions, and if we want to invite people here for 3 days, maybe it will not be possible. Maybe we will have to think about doing something for 1 day so that people wouldn't have to stay overnight. So we will have to adapt. But I think everything is possible. And I think it's not so difficult, because it requires even less money to do it this way. It's just one computer, one beamer, and a screen or white wall. So we should just, if we are not able to do it technically, we just find somebody. I'm sure people will be helpful.
Yeah, this idea has a great potential, and the main good side is that we can make a meeting for a wider audience, and in many countries. So this will be really important, and this is something that will help us to spread the news about Straw Bale. It is a bit more complicated to make it also a lively event, like friends meeting in real life. But we can also try to recreate this effect, this adventure of meeting new people online. An inspiration for this might be the way, for instance, football is transmitted all over Europe and watched in pubs with great enthusiasm. So we just need to find this enthusiasm in ourselves. And for all organizations involved, I believe this is going to be something new. So there might be some anxiety on like how we make it, but in fact, I believe it's going to be easier than organizing a live event. In most cases, it is. It's just a technical issue which you solve with connection and right programs and so on. But we are all used to this form after a year of Corona. And talking about costs, it's much less to organize an online event for 1,000 people than to rent a venue. There is no food to organize, there is no trips to organize, there is no venue to organize. So basically, it's going to be easier to organize this than to organize a normal full-scale conference for 500 people, for instance. So also here we gain a lot. We just need to make an effort and to think positively that it's going to work, and we need to have we need to really discover this fact that this is an adventure in itself. Also, that we are trying to do something new, something which has not been tried before. This is great.
Thank you. So, many of you have already participated in an ESBG, in one or another ESBG in the last 20 years. We would be interested to hear what you think about it. So write us your opinion in the comments or on our forum on baubiologie.at. And make a note of the date, 30th of July to 1st of August. On the 2nd and 3rd of August, we are planning a tour to straw bale houses, and if this vision is shared by all the other countries and becomes true, there will be these straw bale house tours in up to 11 different countries. Until the next time in a week, it will be about virtual tour to about 1,500 straw bale houses in Europe. So stay tuned and please share this message and subscribe our channel. Thank you.